Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. So glad to see you again. Today I have a fun, bright project for you. You'll need all these colors. Of course, you can substitute them for any colors that you have that you want to use. The blue and the pink on top are going to be used for something a little bit later on. You'll need white for each color that you're going to choose. So both for the top two colors and the bottom two. And this will kind of make more sense as we go along. You can choose whatever colors you want together. I'm going to roll out my white clay until it's pretty thin. And while I do that, I do want to welcome everybody to my channel. So glad to see you. If this is your first time joining us, well, welcome. We do have lots of videos for you to binge watch, so please consider hitting that subscribe button. Okay, I've rolled out my white clay and all of my colors I'm going to use. The white clay is much thinner than the colors. Just show you a comparison here between the two. With each of my colors, I'm going to cut it down into a square shape. And you can actually do the same with the white clay. I realized after I finished my project and was doing the editing of the video that I could have saved a couple of steps in the process, but I must have been spacing it out as I was just kind of playing around. I went ahead and cut my colored clay into 4 even length strips and then applied the white clay to each one of those strips, but you can actually just take your colored clay, place it on top of the white clay, and then have the white stacked on the color clay. So I kind of did mine in a long roundabout way, and you'll see that here. Went ahead and placed a white strip on one side of each of my gray. Just be sure that when you stack that you have your color on one side, so my gray is down here, and then your white on the top. And that way when you are cutting up the clay and stacking it, there's always a white layer between the white and the gray. Otherwise you'd have to cut out a little piece and place it in between each of those, and you'll see here as we go along. You'll want to stack up your colors the same way the gray. So for every color you're going to use, I went ahead and have already pre-done my pink into the exact shape that I wanted in. It was the same length as the gray. Since I've already done my pink, I'm just going to go ahead and use it as a template, but if you haven't, then you can just go ahead and cut it up into 3 even length pieces, or how many ever pieces that you can make yours. You do kind of want to keep it into somewhat of a square shape. Both in cutting and stacking. So this one's a little bit tall. I'm going to actually have to squish it down a little bit so it's kind of more into a square shape, and this will make it easier for cutting later. You'll see there that there is a white layer stacked between each of those grays. So it's a little bit tall there. I'm just going to kind of smush it down. And I'm going to go ahead and make all of my colors into this same shape. Alright, I have all of mine. You'll see here that I went ahead and cut the pink. You want to cut it into a cross section. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of measure out where I want to make my official cuts before making the official cuts. And I've cut each of those into sections. And then again, for some white clay, you'll want to wrap each one of your little cut sections, or kind of like a triangle piece here, in the white clay. So you'll want to wrap the 3 sides, but leave the top and the bottom without any white clay on it. So it'll be completely covered like so. And then for the 2 colors that I had kind of set aside earlier, the pink and the blue, I've rolled them into long tube shapes. And I'm going to wrap each one of those in some white clay, about the same thickness as when I was wrapping my flat colors in. And I have those about the same length and width. Just go ahead and cut off any messy ends. And then you want to take one of your triangle sections, and using the longest part of it, go ahead and cut out your little tube shapes into that same length. And this is the second thing that I realized after I had already started the project, that instead of putting it into a circular shape, you could actually do it into a square shape. So when laying out your little circle tubes, you can actually lay them out into a square shape so that you didn't have to do this afterwards. But it all comes out the same in the end, technically, so I wouldn't worry too much about square or round. And again, with this one, you're going to want to cut it into the cross sections. So you have 4 small little triangles. And since the outside is already wrapped in white, we'll just need to wrap the 2 pieces in the middle with some white. And you want to do that with the blue and the pink. And then the fun part, kind of assembling everything together. Use your creative license and just start playing. Mix them, match them, place them together in whatever pattern puzzle piece that you like. So it can come out different for everybody, and I could do this a second time and it could come out different for me then. So just have a little bit of fun with it and see what you like, what colors you like beside each other, what makes it pop, until you get yours into a weird shape like mine, which is okay because we are not reducing this cane. We're just going to kind of push the sides in and try to get everything joined together, and to take out any gaps that might be really big. So no reducing, it's going to be this size. And I'm going to go ahead and trim away kind of any uneven pieces on both sides, just to even it up a little bit. Be sure to keep those scraps. And I'm going to cut mine into 3 even length pieces because that's pretty much all I could get from this. If yours is larger, you can cut yours into how many ever slices you can get out of it. And it was a little bit tough to cut through or to kind of get it started, but once I got down so far, it started to cut a little bit better. It's always getting it started that is the worst for me. Go ahead and burnish or roll out a little bit if your pieces are too thick. I do want them all about the same thickness, and I kind of want them to be smooth. At this point, you can cut out whatever shapes you want. I went ahead and, like always, made little paper cutouts of a random shape that came to mind. I have 3 different sizes, a large, a medium, and a smaller one. For the large, you're going to need 1. For the small and medium, you'll need 2 cutouts for them. Just go ahead and cut out your shapes. And instead of just kind of having it straight on and flat, I'm going to cut at a diagonal on the two long sides and the short side at the top. And this is gonna kind of give it more of a symmetrical kind of a look, or more of a popped look. You'll see there on the right side, the pattern kind of continues and goes over the side. I don't know, I think it makes it seem fuller in a way, if that makes any sense. I just think that edge looks way better than just a straight flat down edge. So I'm going to do the same to the other side, and of course the top part. For the bottom, I'm just going to use my finger and kind of smush it a little bit just to get it rounded. I don't want to flatten it, but I do want it to be a little bit round. You could also use a little bit of cornstarch to kind of run your finger over there and get it all smooth. And then I'm going to do the same going down the sides and the top just to kind of smooth out the edges. Of course, you can always do this after you bake it too. And then, of course, for all the scraps that I cut away, I'm going to roll it up. You could roll this up to where the color is completely blended like I'm going to do, or you can kind of leave it swirled. And you'll see there, the less you blend, the less it's incorporated, and you kind of get like a little pattern. But I'm going to use this for the backing of my necklace, so I kind of want it to be more bland than the top piece. You'll see there, so it's kind of a solid background. But mixing all those colors up together gave me this really pretty paisley pale pink color, and I really liked it because I went with the pink that was in the necklace piece itself. And I'm going to just go ahead and cut out that shape just using my tissue blade to get the same shape as the top part. And then just using my fingers to kind of round out the edges around each of those pink pieces. And of course, my projects wouldn't be complete without a little bit of glitter because, yeah, why not? And this is the fun part too. You get to pick out the color that you think looks best. And since there's several colors in the necklace, you can kind of just play with it and choose which one you want. I ultimately really liked the way this one looked. It's these like long dash kind of glitter pieces. It's really cool. So you just pop a little bit on your clay, your unbaked clay, and then kind of smooth it around with your finger, and it'll fill in not all of the gaps, so you'll still see the pink underneath, which I really like, and then it kind of flattens all of the glitter on there, and it kind of really gives you a really cool pattern. I don't know, they look like little bird feet or something. I don't know, it's really cool. But you can do that with all of your pieces and then flip it over and do the same with the back sides. I love this because it also hides any imperfection in the clay that you might have. And for the top beautiful colored pieces, I have flipped them over so that the back side's facing up, and I'm going to use these stick pins to make little grooves in it, and this is going to be for hanging my necklace when I'm done. I'm going to use 2 stick pins per little piece. You want to line them up to where the tops of them are lined up, or however it's going to be hanging on your neck, so that each of the little stick pins line up, so when they're hanging, one's not too high and the other one's too low. They'll hang nice and pretty and even across your neck. So I've done that to each of those pieces. And then my glitter backings, go ahead and bake. I have baked my pieces, and I have resined front, back, and sides of the glitter. And then for the colored clay, I just did the tops and the sides. I did not put any resin on the back. It's not going to be seen. And also, if anybody has ever experienced this, please let me know. But this has happened to me twice. I baked my clay according to my packaging, and it still burnt my clay. And I only cooked it for 40 minutes like I do on all of my pieces. I don't know, I had a whole bunch of pieces in there, so I don't know if like it became too smoky in there. I don't really know what happened, but this is the second time this has happened to me, and I've never had a problem other than those 2 times. So I had to, before resining, sand all of my pieces to get rid of the brown marks that were left on my clay. So anybody else have that problem? Let me know. I'll need to glue my front and back pieces together, so just putting a little bit of super glue on the backing of the colored clay, being sure not to get any in the grooves from where the stick pins were. You'll place it on your backing, getting it as centered as possible. And then once you have all those glued together, you'll want to put on your string. And I went ahead and accented mine with some little pink beads that I had. I thought it looked really cute. You'll slide your string or wire through the gap, and you'll do that on the top and the bottom, and then of course just apply any of your beads. And I am done. I really, really like it. You could also use some E6000 glue instead of the super glue if you felt more comfortable using that. But this is the finished product. I tried it on. It's really, really cute. It's kind of a summery piece, so I'll probably wait till the summertime to wear this. But a very simple piece, but kind of fun and funky and almost 80s-ish. And then I used this little butterfly toggle and clasp. Thought it went perfectly with the cute little necklace. And I made these little earrings the same way I made the necklace. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you next week. Bye!